Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This morning I want to teach you how to connect different data sets. This process is called merging of data. Now, when you want to merge data, the most important part is you must be able to open the file which you wanted to actually take it as a master. So let me take this particular file, auto1, and if you can tab auto1 like make, it has the following cars: BMW ETC up to Nissan Celica, and it has weight of the vehicles, okay, and it has length of the vehicles as well. So this is actually, in this case, because of the start, we have got only 3 variables, and again I can be able to clear this, okay, and let me take another variable which is the auto2. Okay, now auto2 again has make. Okay, now you can actually see that the make like a bit different from the other, but majority of the values are there. But this one has the price. In other made there was no price, and this one has MPG, which is mileage. So it's like that. So you can actually see that now if you want to merge, you must be able to look at a common variable, and that particular common variable in this case is make, and make sure that the variable names are the same, and they have got similar linkages. So when merging, you merge using different criteria. The first one is 1-to-1. That is, a variable in this part which is similar must be merged with another variable on the other file which is similar. So that association is called 1-to-1 association. For example, if somebody is aged 5, it must be able to merge with the same person who is appearing in a different file is aged 5. So you can actually merge these two people as the same. Like, for example, you have got two variables. One variable is for example, let's take household identity. Household identity, somebody can come and collect data about maybe food consumption, and somebody can come and collect data about maybe food production for the same household. So we can use household ID as an identifier which can be used to merge the two files and bring them together. So you must be able to have a common link which can connect two things together. Like in this case, our common link is make. So when merging, you can actually come to data, and when you come to data, you can come to merge two data sets, and then here you put the matching variable. In our case is make, and remember this is auto2, this data which we are using. So I wanted to merge with the auto1, which was the first part that we actually have. Then you can browse the file that you want in the simplest term, and then you take auto1 and then you bring it here. So let me just check whether this one is auto2 or auto1. Yeah, this is auto2, so I am merging with auto1. Yeah, so I'm clear on that. So when you do that, you actually now enter OK, like that. When you enter OK, it brings you this summary. This summary, it shows you that those that are not matched is only one variable, and the first file which we open, we call it a master file. So from a master file, there is 0 that is merged. Merged has happened, and from using, we have got the merge. So the merged that have been done, we have got 5 of them. So we have merged 5. So you can actually see that even here, there is an increase in terms of the numbers. So there is make, price, MPG, weight, length, and then the merge. So if you can be able now to browse the data, so you can actually see that the data has an additional one. So it's now a combination of price, it's a combination of MPG, it's a combination of weight and length. So this is the way we actually merge the data set. Then if you want to clean, you can then delete this one. You can drop this particular part, and so that the data is a bit rectangular. Without dots. You can actually delete this one, because it shows that in this one, in one file there was no data, in the other file there was data, but because this variable is like common, it has just been taken on board and then brought here. So this one, it is only in using file only. It is using file is the file that was coming before, that we were calling to merge into the master file. So it is only in the using file. So having done that, I want you to actually create your own data sets, depending on the questions that you have. Like in this case, we have got these ones, which we actually call them like integrated household survey. Now if you can double click this integrated household survey like that, you have got other variables again, like case ID, household ID. Like if you can tab this one, it's a household ID. So it has so many identities that can be used, and then this one is a case ID. If you can list that one again, is a case ID, and when you have got the case ID or the one of it can be used to merge a file. So you can actually see that in this file they were recording, I don't know why it's not coming, they were recording they were recording age, they were recording sex, they were recording different types of variables, but it is just taking so slow to process. So let me just so you can actually see that it is giving us different codes. So you can actually, when merging, you can actually it means that these particular codes also exist in the other files which were collected under IHS, but this time around it is only showing us that one. So if you can be able to tab like age, you can actually see that this one is the age. So when merging, make sure you don't merge on a variable like this age, but merge based on the ID. So you can use that, like between the two, you should choose which one you can actually merge your data with. So in this one, there is only age, and I can stop this, and there is if I can tab, there is again, you can tab sex. Okay, sex has been defined like this, so you can tab sex, so it's male and female out of 13,000. So here again it has the highest qualification, so it is tab, it is the highest qualification, so it has like that. So when using IHS4, this is HH means household questionnaire, and so you can actually savage in those files and look at which variables you need to merge so that they can create your new file. It's not a simple job. And FS is food security modules, and the COM is the community modules, and AG is agricultural production modules. So depending on your hypothesis, you can be able to go in each file, look for the files that you need, you identify your identifier variable, and then using identifier variable, you merge the files according to the variables that you need. So in that case, you can drop all variables which you don't need, and you remain with the variables that you need, and then the ones that you need together with the identifier, you can actually use an additional process to actually generate the variables that you need. After you do that, you check for the missing values and control for them, so that you can now have a clean rectangular data set. A rectangular data set is a data set that all variables are, that does not have the missing values, but all variables are equal. So you must be able to do that cleaning to make the data quite reasonable. Much as it has an error of 5 to 10%, that particular error cannot affect the generality of the results that you have. So this is actually the most critical step that I want you to take, and I want you to practice. And you can download this IHS4 on the National Statistics Office data. And when you download it, I want you to have a question. I want you to use it to actually to model the things that we will be discussing in this particular part, because I will not be using IHS, I will be using DHS data in teaching, so that when you're now modeling your part, I don't want you to use the DHS, but instead you are going to use the IHS after you have done the merging, after we have gone through this exercise. We are continuing in the next section. Okay.